What's up, everybody? This is Jimmy with Trading Decoded, and it is Saturday. Good morning to all of you. And normally, this would be a day that I would be posting a baby account challenge video. And in a way, I am still posting a video on the baby account, but not in the way that you would think or hope for some of you. So as many of you know, not this past week, but the week prior to, I said I was going to take a week off of trading, and I did. I didn't make a single trade. Did I regret it sometimes? Yeah, because I did paper trade as far as writing what I would enter and exit, and I left thousands and thousands of dollars on the table. Neither here nor there. The whole point of taking that week off was to figure out a few things. Most importantly, trying to see if the stresses that I assumed were coming from trading that account for the sole purpose of creating videos for YouTube was real, or if there was some other reason that I was having additional stress while I was trading. For those of you who followed along, I grew that account by over 10,000% in 40 trading days. Clearly, the method works. However, honing the skill and becoming good at it does take time. The whole point of that series was to show people that A, you didn't have to have a big account to grow it, and B, that it is doable to trade options and grow an account. We all hear the horror stories that come along with options, but you don't hear about how those people came to know those stories. And most of the time, it's because they gambled with them or didn't know anything about options, especially as far as the fact that you can get rid of them and sell out of your position at any point in time. You don't have to hold it to be a max loss. Don't gamble with them. But I digress. So the goal was to determine whether the stress was coming from trading that account for the purpose of making a YouTube video. And unfortunately, I found that there was a couple of issues. Number one, yes, I was forcing myself to take trades and larger trades because I wanted to impress the people who were watching that video with continuous gains and larger gains each time, even though the account was growing. When I first started this, I knew deep down that in the beginning, the percentage gains on the account would be massive simply because I was using most of the account on a single trade while I was growing it. And knowing that once I got into the thousands on that account, that I wouldn't be using thousands of dollars per trade, which means naturally that my percentage gain would drop. And I was okay with that. Nobody had made a comment or anything on any of the YouTube videos that led me to think that I needed to maintain that insane level of growth. So I'm not blaming anybody. It's all on me. So that was number one. Number two, I also found that I was doing the same amount of gains, dollar-wise and percentage-wise, on the account when the account was smaller as I was when it grew. And I attribute that to the fact that as I had more money to use to trade, is that I was taking bigger positions, which is fine, but if you're wrong, then you take bigger losses. Now, I never really went backwards on that account, but in order for me to fix the times that I had bad trades, I was having to take equal sized or double the amount of trades to make up those losses, and in hopes of just breaking even or making the day green. So my resolve to all of this, and the reason I'm posting this video, is because I'm trying to be clear and upfront with you guys. What I ended up doing on Friday of this past week, or was it Thursday? Whatever the case, I opened up a new Roth IRA. I withdrew all of the money out of the baby account, which was a traditional standard brokerage trading account. And the problem with that was I set those accounts up for my kids. And as I'm doing this challenge and I had time to think because I took that week off, it dawned on me that if I kept that level of growth through the course of the year, I was going to get tattooed on capital gains. Not wanting to add to my tax problems, I decided to liquidate the baby account, and I'll show you on the screen here the electronic transfer out to my bank so you guys could see that I took all the money out. I left about $100 in there. And then I funded a Roth IRA this past Friday or Thursday, whatever it was, with $100 just to open the account. And then I went ahead and transferred $2,000 of the $5,200 that I took out of the baby account. I put $2,000 of it into this new Roth. And that goes back to two things. Number one, I have to and maintain the focus on the fact that those accounts are for my kids. I don't intend on living off of that money, so I won't be taking money out of that account. Two, because my kids are younger, they can't have their own Roths, so it's in my name. I can only contribute up to $6,000 a year into that account, but hopefully I don't ever have to do that simply because I'd like to trade it to being well beyond that anyway. All that being said, I put $2,000 in there, and the first thing that I did with it is I bought VTI shares, which is Vanguard's version of an ETF that tracks SPY. And I bought it at $205, $209 a share. So I've got 10 shares. And like I said, the focus of this account is to grow it so that my kids can retire wealthy. And I have no buying power right now because it's all in shares. But what I intend on doing is transferring in an additional $500, and I will trade the $500 on options while continuing to add to my share size over time. I was okay not having the stresses of making a baby account video every week. I don't have to prove anything to anybody anymore. I did it for 40 days. Everybody who watched saw that it's possible, and I have an entire Discord community full of people that know it's possible because they're either doing it themselves or they're learning how to do it. So I'm removing that pressure from myself and the stress. I don't need it. And for those of you who don't know where the stress thing's coming from and why I'm choosing to deal with it now, is that when I first launched Trading Decoded in March of 2021, I did so with the intention of making a business out of it and trying to cater to everybody. To make this story shorter, I'm just going to say this. It's impossible to make everybody happy. And if you're going to charge people more for things, then as they pay more, they expect more, which I totally understand. I just didn't realize that I wasn't ready for that. And with things that were going on in my life and the fact that I have 4 kids, a wife and a job and everything else to deal with, I didn't have the adequate time or energy to fulfill the needs and the promises for those folks that were paying more to be at a level that required more of my time and attention. When I came back and rebooted Trading Decoded in January, I made it very simple. I stripped out everything as far as the different tiers that were available as a patron. I made it very clear that it was going to be SPY related only. So I'm not trying to cater to everybody. I'm just opening the door to people who want to learn how to trade SPY options as a possibility. I always say it's not for everybody, and that's still the case. I still believe that. But more importantly, when I kicked it off again and I set that tier of $10 for any patron, I removed the expectations of, or the perception of higher expectations, because for $10 a month, you can't expect a lot from me. I do answer everybody's questions. I do put in time to the Discord every single day. I'm in there with you guys every day. For those of you who are in there, you know that. And more importantly, I'm not doing this for financial gain per se. I do have a day job, and as a result, that's how my living income comes in. So the Patreon money, yes, I do take it, but I do pay taxes on it. I do give a bunch of it away, and I buy things that I give back to the community with it as well. So long and short of it is, I did make a post when I kicked it all off, and I know we're digressing, but I'm just trying to give you guys an overall view of why I did what I did with the trading account that I was trading publicly. I made it very clear that I'm going back into this with the expectation of minimal expectations from me, but I will put in the time and the effort as I have it and continue to do so as we grow. Now, the final thing I'm going to say is this. I am no longer going to trade my accounts publicly. This is a personal account. It's for the purposes of my children being able to retire wealthy. I've explained to you guys what I've done and what I'm going to do going forward. I will give updates on that account randomly. I'm not going to make it a set weekly thing. I'm not going to even trade the account every week. So I will keep you guys in the loop as to what's going on, but I'm not going to do it weekly. I hope this is okay with all of you guys. I know it's going to make some people annoyed, and some people are going to say, oh, you blew up your account or whatever. I don't really care. I mean, I did it. I know what I did. And the guys that are in my Discord who support me in the community all know that it's happening. So if you guys have any questions, please hit me up in the comment section or hit me up in Discord. I always have a link to our Discord in these videos. I have a link to the Patreon so that you can gain access to things that non-patrons do. But more importantly, you can help support the community and be surrounded by a whole bunch of people that are doing the same thing with great attitudes, and they're doing very well. And that's about it. So you guys enjoy the rest of your weekend. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe to the video. Hit the little bell notification so that each time I post something, you'll hear about it. And I'll see you in the next one. See ya.